Okay, it's an extra bonus session, so it's not going to be very long. It's short and sweet, but of course it's very important. And I am delighted, as we have a delegation from Kenya, I'm delighted to invite Steve Areba from Broadcast Solutions International, who is leading the charge for DAB+ in Kenya. Hi, Steve.
Hi, Benny.
Come over here and join me. Delighted to have you and George, your colleague, with us, and you enjoyed the dinner last night. So look, Kenya is a huge radio market. It's one of the largest in Africa. They've got like over 200 stations, and they've got a little bit of a problem with FM congestion. So tell us, Steve, a little bit, give us a snapshot of the radio market in Kenya and why you're looking into DAB+.
Okay, so Kenya has probably about 300 plus radio channels. We have got a very strong, basically, culture in listening to radio. Actually, about latest research was about 21 million of the 30 million adults actually do listen to radio actively. The current challenge is that most of the spectrum that is available for FM is fully saturated, and therefore there is actually need to accommodate demands. At the moment, there's probably about 2,000 applicants plus of people waiting to set up their own channels, and there is no spectrum for them to be in. So as a result, the regulator is trying to see how does it push for the adoption of digital to allow a wide variety of content to come into play.
That's pretty impressive, you know, and of course what you do in Kenya will inspire the rest of the East African region and beyond. So tell us, what is actually happening at the moment with DAB+?
So what has basically happened with DAB+ is there's been a license that has actually been issued out, and we are actually working with Multiplexer to set up the first DAB infrastructure within Kenya. And it's largely targeting the three biggest towns. Many of you may have heard of Nairobi, and then there's Mombasa, a coastal place, and there's Kisumu up next to another very big lake, Lake Victoria. So within that, what they've actually allocated is spectrum. The ensemble has been put in place, and right now there's a bit of testing to see whether we can get the receivers availability and just align all the dots in place, so then we can have a launch out for this. Then also lastly is the regulator is also rooting for this to happen because it sees this as the national progression, national requirement that will basically need for radio to go to the next level.
Excellent. Well, it sounds like you're making great progress. And what are the very next priorities? I think you touched on a couple of them there. You mentioned receivers and regulation. So what's the very next thing for you?
So really right now the key things for us that are basically taking place is pulling out this data that will come as a result of the test phase, which is probably will happen in Q1 in next year. Then also rolling this out to the different sites, and then also now getting the appropriate partners to see how that would be able to be expanded moving forward.
Excellent, voila, and that word partners makes our ears prick up because of course this is where WorldDAB can come to play. And thank you very much for that update, Steve. And WorldDAB and our members in particular will be very keen to help you and support you in your next steps on all of that. So I think expect more from Kenya very soon. Thank you, Steve.
Looking forward indeed. Thank you.
Excellent work, Steve. Excellent work, Bernie.